Hello, everybody, and welcome to Time Capsule here on the Games Done Quick Hotfix. It's the show where we travel back in time to your favorite years in gaming and showcase awesome speedruns of games released in the same year. But tonight, there can be only one. And as I'm sure many of you are aware, while it is Valentine's Day, did you know that it is also video game heroine Lara Croft's birthday? And what better way to celebrate than with a speedrun of her most recent AAA excursion in 2018's Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So I'm very excited, but before we get into the glorious action of any percent glitchless, let's cover a few announcements. First of all, Frost Fatale's 2023 prize submissions are open from now until Monday, February 20th. You can go to gamesdonequick.com for more information or use the command !prizes in our Twitch chat to submit your prizes. And if you are interested in submitting your speedrun specifically to Time Capsule, you can use the command !Time Capsule. I'm fumbling all over my words today. I don't know why. In the Twitch chat to find out more. But I think that we should get the party started. So I'm really excited. Please welcome Satori Earth. We're going to do this, huh, Satori?
We are. Hello, everyone. I am Satori Earth. This is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and happy birthday, Lara. Yes. All right, we're not going to do too much of an intro here. We've got a long game to get through, and we've got a bunch of cutscenes as well in this run. But hey, we're going to get some good story. So we're going to get started.
It's Lara's party. She'll do what she wants to.
It is. It really is. Alrighty. So, time will start when I actually click OK on the difficulty here in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, we play on a normal difficulty. Well, Shadow technically doesn't have that in the rules, but for the Survivor Timeline games, 2013 and Rise, both are on normal, and Shadow really should be for the same reason. On console and on PC, should you play with a controller, the game forces you to have lock-on aim with controllers.
Oh,
for whatever reason. Yeah, and you can't turn it off. There's no way to toggle it off. So, for that reason, we run on normal. Yeah, there's a few spots where you have a little bit of a higher risk of dying, but you at least get control of your aim. We're going to take the control over our aim. All right. So, we got a little bit of a cold open to this run. I do apologize. It's going to be a bit of a slog. We got a bunch of slow walking. We got a bunch of cutscenes. I mean, we're going to get some good exposition as to what this game has for a story, but you're going to be like, this is a speed run. There's no speed tech here. Oh, just wait. Yes, this is a glitchless run, but we've got some wild stuff in store for you in this run. Don't you worry. So we get a little bit of a in medias res opening here. A lot of drama. Lara giving her Survivor Timeline catchphrase right off the get-go. You know, Nathan Drake has his crap. And, well, Survivor Lara has, well, a bit more of an expletive version of it. All right. So, yeah, we got this epic crash happening. We have no context as to why.
I mean, yeah, how does she find herself in these situations? I mean, really.
Don't travel with Lara. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. If you get into a vehicle with Lara, it's not going to end well. Almost guaranteed.
Jonah is like the most ride or die friend. Like, seriously.
He really is. Like, he's such a great character. There's one cutscene that we'll get to it later in the run, but like, just like how good of a friend he is to Lara there is just it's so good. It's so good. And the actor is like so wholesome too. If you ever watch his Twitch or follow him on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, he's just like such a super nice guy.
Do you know the handle like offhand for anyone that might want to check him out?
His name's Earl Balon. I don't remember his actual handle offhand. I believe it's something similar.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So, more just like Lara in precarious situations. We get that crash, and then we just find her like trapped inside a cave. So, you know, always a good idea to pry something off of your leg with a knife, nothing could go wrong there.
You know what? This is like from a woman who walks around barefoot on like a rusty boat. So, I wouldn't put it past her.
That is a fair point. And, well, we like to make jokes like Survivor Lara. She starts out 2013 getting impaled in the abdomen and then goes through some murky, stagnant water in a cave, which, just gives her like magical healing regenerative properties.
She gets put through the ringer in this series, and I don't think Shadow's any different.
She really does. So we get a little bit of basic gameplay here, a little bit of tutorial on some climbing. We're not going to do Lara's climbing animations, though. We're just going to, kind of randomly jump up the wall and get up there super fast.
She's like a little flying fish.
She is. And then we got an overhang here, which normally is, if I was to hit, like, the drop button, she would drop off. But this one's a tutorial, and you literally cannot jump. You cannot drop. Once you're on this overhang, all you can do is move. The game just doesn't let you have the risk here. But look at these environments. This thing still holds up. What is this game? 5 years old?
Yeah, let that sink in. This game came out in 2018, but I don't know. It doesn't take a lot to impress me with like game graphics, but this one is incredible.
Yeah, same. Like, I'm actually one of those people that I think graphics is a little over-focused on in games, but it's just like, some games are just too pretty not to, fully appreciate.
Yeah, you have to appreciate these environments. They're very well done.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we get a little bit of Alara's archaeologist side here. She finds the runes they were looking for. They're on Trinity's heels. If you're unfamiliar with the storyline of the Survivor timeline, Trinity is the big bad, that big nefarious organization that has their hands into a bunch of world governments and militaries and, always looking for artifacts of power to, further expand their reach and power, and are also responsible for Lara's father's death. So at this point, she knows that, and she just wants to catch up on them and stop them and, get ahead of them to make sure that these types of things are not going to happen. There's a date here. Also, I love that pink fish clue. That was one when I played this game for the first time. I'm like, I know that one. That's totally the Amazon River. There's actually a species of dolphin that live in the Amazon River, and they have like a really like translucent skin, so all their blood vessels and that like give their skin like pinkish hue. Which, of course, gets explained later on in a cutscene that is going to be one of the ones we can skip, unlike this one.
Well, this is the opener. We got to see the action unfold.
Yeah, Lara's too busy taking pictures. Doesn't care that the place is collapsing. Jonah has to like drag her out.
It's like, Jonah, it's for my Instagram.
Yeah. But first, let me take a selfie. But yeah, here we get a little bit of Jonah's like good friendship that he has with Lara.
I think he grounds her a little bit,
He definitely does. He definitely does, and he keeps her on task too.
I think
when she needs it.
Yeah, I think without Jonah, Lara probably wouldn't survive.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a good big brother type character to her.
I'm not very hungry. After all of that,
I'm starving. I could eat a whale. Ha 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 ha. Good joke.
Good joke, guys, yeah.
Good joke. All right. So now we know that we're going to Cozumel, Mexico to, well, that's actually where we were, but we know Trinity's here as well, so we're going to see what they're up to exactly. They obviously set traps, which is why that whole area exploded. If you missed the trap on the side and the rock she stepped on to set it off. Yeah. Trinity set some traps there.
I think it's like rude of them to destroy something like that, or I guess the intent of destroying it, expecting her to come by, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, look at all the culture. Like, why would you want to do that? That's actually one thing I really appreciate about this game. We did get that as a little paragraph at the start. I didn't really go over, but the dev team actually put a lot of thought and heart into, you know, really well representing all the cultures and like history that they're going here. Yes, it's a fictional story, but they put in their time and research to, you know, give it as much proper respect and keep it as grounded as they could at the same. So like we get this like these beautiful, rich towns and environments in this game. Here we're going to get a nice little slow walk where we are going to follow these guys through a crowd. I don't know. That's like, oh wow, a slow walk. Yeah, this is a speed run. But hey, we're going to have a few interesting animations at least to you know watch.
She's got to scout it out, check the situation.
Exactly. So I will point those out, and also her mask is like super cute. I like that mask.
I'm in.
Those guards weren't at the gate earlier. Dominguez must suspect something.
Master of disguise here.
You think they'll notice her? Probably not, actually.
Yeah, somehow not. There's actually, it's something that we do skip in the run, so I'm just going to go over it now, but there's a part in the game where it's like you meet up with one of the characters, and he's like, your serpent disguise is so good. But it's like, you barely even looked at her and knew it was her immediately. Like, how good was it? All right, here, watch Lara. Watch Lara. Pop! Just pops into that animation. There's no frames to that animation. She just pops straight into it.
I mean, sure.
All right, and then this little kid straight ahead, he's gonna get caught on this lady. Right there. His pathing is broken. He always gets stuck on her. I don't know if they added her in after they put in his pathing or what, but he always gets stuck on her, and I don't know why it amuses me so much, but it does.
I mean, it's kind of a little kid thing to do also, to just like not really care where you're going. You just want to go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. He's got his sparkler and he's just excited.
Yes.
Hilariously enough, a lot of these NPCs are actually RNG. So like that guy right there, he'll be a different character model. He'll always be an adult male, but which adult male he is will change every run.
Oh, that's interesting. Is it like that for just a few characters, or?
It's pretty much for like just all the village NPCs that you don't interact with.
Do you have like a lucky NPC?
I can't say that I do. No.
You see the guy in like the suspenders, and you're like, that's the guy. This is the run.
Yeah, I can't say that. How she doesn't get noticed here, I have no idea. He's just too busy with his phone call.
Yeah, she's like standing up pretty high, actually.
Yeah, it's just like right next to him too. Then we got this nice drunk guy on his throne of trash.
Oh man, that's right on.
Hilariously enough, I do this every run. We actually are allowed to start from a save and skip to pretty much right after this little in-game cinematic right here.
Oh, it's allowed in the official?
Yeah, we're allowed to start because there's very little input, and you know, as long as you're consistent with it, you're getting through this in the same amount of time every time.
Cool.
But I always play through this because, like, if I'm running a full game, I'm running the full game.
I mean, yeah, like I could see maybe it being like if you're really grinding out the game, going for like a skip like that, but
even when I've done world record grinds, I've still started from the beginning. It's painful whenever you have to reset, but I don't know. I can't.
It's like the full game. You gotta.
Yeah, it's like I'm running a whole game. I'm running full game. I'm running the full game. So yeah, now we're starting to get into some of it, and we'll get to see some of those skips I was mentioning. Nothing too crazy though. Just some little ones to warm you guys up to some of the wild platforming we're going to have throughout this run.
I have to find what they're looking for.
So get a little bit here. Oh, of course, we get a little bit of, look how bad Trinity is. They were going to kill this archaeologist.
I know this figure.
Tie up all their loose ends. Oh, she actually gave me a proper attach. I'm like ready to cancel out an animation.
Oh, because she doesn't do it often.
Yeah, we'll for sure have it on a wall coming up here. Okay, so here, we're supposed to jump to this craggy wall. I'm just going to drop off and throw the grapple instead. Look at that massive 2-second time save.
It adds up, you know.
Over-menued. Over-menued. I want a reload checkpoint. All right, here. Yeah, she does that, like, save and grab animation there. And you're supposed to press square, and then she'll slowly, like, reattach herself. Yeah. You can just drop off the wall and reattach, and it skips the entire animation.
Is it very precise?
Not really.
The timing? Okay, I gotcha.
No, as long as you're quick enough, you're good. It doesn't need to be perfect. All right, here's another one. We're gonna jump off this wall early and throw the grapple instead of, climbing over there. That's another, like, massive, like, 2-second time save.
I'm entering a cave. We may lose.
Actually, that one I think is more like 3 or 5. But
So I imagine there's probably a lot of places in the run where things like that happen. And so overall, what would you say is like the time save there?
so right here, you can save probably about
This cave
6 seconds or so on this little bit of platforming that we just did there with those skips. Like, it's not much. There are ones where it's like, I definitely, if anyone's picking up this run for the first time, I would just be like, yeah, you know what? Don't do it. Like, if you don't feel comfortable with it, don't do it. Like, you're gonna lose more time going for it if you fail it than you would ever save off of it.
Well, now you mentioned that you speedrun the other games in this trilogy. How does this
Yes.
one compare to like those first 2 runs?
I find the movement in this one to be the best. Gunplay in 2013 is the best. Rise is painful for glitchless. it's a good
honest.
game. It's a good game casually, but the glitchless run is painful. Rise definitely has, like, if you're gonna do a glitched run, yeah, go for Rise. Rise is your best run to start with for glitched. But if you're doing glitchless, yeah, you either go with this or 2013. This is my favorite to run just because, like, the combat's still good. Like, I would say the gunplay is better in 2013, and there's more of it. But it's still solid in this one. And then the movement just feels the absolute best. And because you get the grapple right from the start, like, there's just so many, like, fun little skips, like, through my time I've found in this run that, so fun.
Have you spent a lot of time just like trying to figure these glitches out?
Yeah, it's anytime I do like an offline practice run, or even sometimes I've done it on stream, I'm just like, you know what? We're just gonna do some weird risky jumps. It's like, I'm just gonna stand here for a moment and it's like, what about that wall? Can I make it to that wall instead of what the game wants me to do? Can I do that? Is that
Perfect.
something I can do?
Perfect glitch hunting.
I have to find the temple Dominguez is looking for.
So those little traps, we can just obviously jump right over. All right, so here, the game wants us to climb up here, and then we get a cinematic where, Lara's gonna, like, look at this temple, but if we just jump off to the side, we don't get that cinematic. We skip the trigger.
It's awesome,
So.
we assure you.
That's not good.
Yeah, it just forces you to look at that, and she starts talking to Jonah. Like, really, like, take in the area.
Causing tremors.
It's like, yeah, we don't got time for that. It's only, like, 6 seconds, but it's like, hey, those are 6 seconds that I can have.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever. That one was Lara. I know it's your birthday, but we don't need to show off with weird crooked jumps, please. She loves to make me nervous.
Something
Like there.
Something that we noticed at the beginning of the run too is that the devs actually put in a little happy birthday message for Lara. I thought that was
They
cool.
did. Yeah, we
really
will. We will encounter some of the loading screens, so we might get to see it again during the run.
Oh, right on.
And there's a few spots where we'll have a loading screen because I'll either be restarting a checkpoint or there's a couple spots where we fast travel. And what's so bad about Rise runs? It's just the game can behave quite jank when you're trying to actually do what the types of things that the game expects you to be doing. Her platforming does not cooperate the way it should. Oh, I had a directional input in still. Alright, so nice quick little puzzle solve here. Yeah, Rise runs, I've had times where all I do exactly, like I'm not even trying to do a skip or anything like that, do exactly what the game's expecting of me, and Lars just like ended up inside the wall. It's like, yeah, okay.
Sure.
I guess this is how I lose this run.
Are there
All
a
right,
lot
so
of
here-
points? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Here the game wants us to go to the side there and go across this little handhold. There's the bats that came out there, and there's a whole cinematic where she gets startled by them. Yeah, there we just jump for the wall. That's actually a skip that I've seen a lot of casual players try to go for. And, well, it's not as easy as it looks. It's not hard, but it's not easy either. And they eventually end up going for what the game intends because, you know, they fail to jump a few times and they're like, oh, there's a wall here that I'm supposed to go up. But anyway, you were going to say.
I was gonna say, are there like many, I guess, reset points in the game, like where you get to it and you're just like, I can't, and you have to reset?
Lara? Not really. It's more just some platforming. Sometimes a fight didn't go right, and you know you're just bleeding a little bit too much time. All right, so we get our first little look at combat here. There I did a restart checkpoint. It teleports her a bit forward and also makes those guys in a nice little straight line where, as you saw, I was able to just quick 3 little bursts and get rid of those 3. These first guys here, we're just going to ignore them. We're just going to go and trip a cutscene in the middle, and we're also going to stab this gentleman during it. Yeah, you can hear the sound effect. Yeah, so we got rid of one guy. There his body is during the cutscene. That is not going to get... Oh, it did get both of those guys. Okay. Can we not throw mollies at me? Sir, rude. Also, why are you on the side? And okay, he came back.
I hope that's all of them.
Okay. Those guys are a little bit RNG as to like how the path. Sometimes they can be really nice and like perfectly lined up on the stairs for me. Other times they kind of run around like that. All right, so inside that cave, Lara took this dagger, which caused everything to fall apart and the tsunami to happen.
Wow.
She comes out of that gate, runs into Dominguez, who is the leader of Trinity. And he gets the dagger from her and all that and kind of scolds her. He's like you don't have the other thing you need and you took the dagger, like everyone's going to die and it's your fault. And Lara just kind of like dismissively acts like a child. She's like, no, I didn't.
I feel like Lara Croft is kind of she tends to go in the gray area sometimes.
she kind of does. Yeah, I actually love that cutscene because like her actual like attitude there is just kind of like, no,
I didn't do it. She's like, I just wanted to go to the water park. This is Lara's idea of fun.
It really is. Everywhere she goes, just destruction. It's what is normal for her. She wouldn't know what to do with anything else. But the game has these little breathe holes that it wants us to use. We're not going to use a single one through the game. Because either we get a checkpoint where we can reset and it's going to move her forward and give her full breath back. Or she can actually just make the entire length of the swim in one breath, and it's just a red herring. Like, you don't actually need to take a breath.
This would scare me so much.
Oh, I can't even swim well. Like, if you drop me in the middle of the pool, I can make it to the side. But we moved around too much when I was a kid, so I never properly learned.
Oh,
so
I
it's just
see.
like, yeah, a situation like this, yeah, no thank you.
When you first started like learning this, did you find any of these scenes kind of like unsettling in that way?
No, I have one of those brains where I can pretty much remove myself from media.
Right, that's good.
Like, I have that separation of like, this is media that I'm experiencing. I'm not actually experiencing it.
Right.
And we're gonna get a death there. Lara didn't give me a proper jump. This area is a bit precarious, especially on console. On 60 frames on console, she can actually short the jump even if you do it correctly. Like right here, she barely makes that jump. On PC and on console at 30 frames, she lands like 4 feet further down that roof. I don't know what it is about console and 60 frames.
So
but
you've played it on both PC and console, which we're doing today.
Well, I know a bunch of PC runners. I
see,
don't have a PC capable of running it just yet. Plan on doing a build soon.
Just yet, yeah.
Just yet. Yeah, my laptop wouldn't be able to handle this. But I did start running this game before the PS5 even existed, like on PS4. This was actually one of the first games I like ran. I tried skipping that cutscene early. Yeah, if you try skipping a cutscene early, you open the map.
Oh, so did you learn this before you learned like 2013 and Rise?
I did. I played them in release order, but in terms of speedrunning, I started with this one.
Interesting.
Yeah, I started to get into speedrunning in like 2017. Well, as like actually performing them myself. I had been watching for a while.
Oh, sure.
But in terms of actually being a runner, 2017 was my start. And then this game came out. I played through it, 100%ed it, got my platinum trophy, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna not actually look at any of the runs for this game. I'm gonna use this as like really honing like just my ability to approach speedrunning, and I'm gonna route it for myself.
Wow, that's awesome.
So I did 100% my own routing. First runs were rough in that, but you know, it kind of gave me that angle of speedrunning, of, you know, actually looking at a game and how can I get through this.
I think that's important
optimally.
Because, you know, you have to know where it is you're going and what you're trying to do before you can really understand like a skip, you know. So I like that. That's cool, Satori.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I could have looked at what other runners had already started to do, because I did my first runs probably about 5 months after release, so you know the boards were already open. There was already runs.
When you started, I guess, looking at other runs, did you feel like the run that you routed like was similar in any ways to like the current runs?
I'd say I probably had about a good 60 to 70% of foundation pretty solid in my run, and then there was a bunch of other stuff that I picked up along the way. And then as I got more and more comfortable with the run and just speed running in general, by that time I had picked up so many other games. I kind of went through the entire trilogy, learning those, and I circled back to this, and by then it was just like, okay, well, now I have a completely different experience with speedrunning at this point. Now it's time to actually like find some stuff in this game. And that's when all the fun stuff really started.
Well, and you run a lot of different games, correct?
Is there anywhere to land?
Yeah, I think I want to say 15 now.
That's a lot, my friends. 15 games. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
I think I'm up to 15. I mean, some of those I definitely don't run actively, but
See, that's the real hard part is like doing 15 games all at once.
yeah, I'd say I'm probably about 6 of those actively. Let's see. There's of course this trilogy, Horizon Zero Dawn, Horizon Forbidden West, The Chant, Left Behind.
What are you doing?
I feel like I'm missing something. Well, I will do casual runs of Journey every now and then, but that's not a serious run for me. There's also games that I run in Bug Snacks as well, where it's like I run them, I know how to run them, and I still can run them, but I don't really look for PBs or anything in those runs. They're just let's just do a run for fun.
Yeah, that's perfectly allowed.
Hell yeah, speedrunning is fun sometimes, especially when you have that kind of approach.
So, is this the game that you say got you interested in speedrunning, or were you already kind of interested in the culture and stuff like that beforehand?
I was already beforehand.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, I already knew well of speedrunning. Yeah, we got a bunch of slow stuff here. We had a little bit of exposition. They're just following Trinity's footsteps and the clues that they found. So we don't really got much going on here. I knew that speedrunning existed, but I never really took any time to check it out. What really got me going was The Last of Us. I had a coworker that we talked a lot of various media and had a lot of overlapping tastes with movies and music and all that kind of stuff. So she kept on going. She's like, you gotta check out this game that my boyfriend and I have been playing. You gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. You gotta check out The Last of Us. So I finally, got a PS4 bundle with Last of Us Remastered. Played through. I'm like, yeah, good. Just totally went nosediving into any Last of Us stuff I can consume, watching various playthroughs on YouTube, and eventually speedrunner Anthony. You're stuck? That was that okay? Well, there's the meme of never seen that before.
It's the birthday dance.
Yeah. All right. I guess we have to go all the way back to the checkpoint because she just locked out there and would not jump after that, whatever that animation was.
I've definitely gotten her in very strange, little soft locks like that in this game.
Yeah. There's a few spots where things can go funky. All right. Let's not have that this time. Okay. Remember that I picked that up though. There we go. That's what we're supposed to have. All right.
There we go.
Someone must be around. Hello? Jonah!
All right. But yeah, Anthony Caliber got suggested to me, and I had just played through the hardest difficulty, grounded myself completely on my own, and finished it and it's like, oh, this guy's completed it in 3 hours. I think 26 minutes was the record at the time. Getting suggested to me, I'm like, what? On the hardest difficulty? I gotta see this. So I ended up watching a few of his runs on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have to open a Twitch. I gotta watch this stuff live. And well, it just snowballed from there, getting introduced to various speedrun communities and falling more and more in love with the hobby as a viewer. And like, okay, well, I need to get my toes wet and go for it myself.
Awesome.
All right, so after that plane crash from the opening, we've now caught up to real time. We now have to find all of our gear. So we don't really have a knife. We just ripped a piece of plane propeller off. We're going to do this. We're going to try to cut this. The knife's going to be too dull, but that's going to update our objective to actually, find some salvage and sharpen it. We've already collected 2 crates of salvage. We're just going to collect the third and go to the fire. At the fire, we're going to get that upgrade done to the knife, but we're also going to buy our first 3 skills of the run. So, first thing we're going to get is Raposa's Drop, which is going to give us our movement speed. We're going to be able to jump and roll. Then we get Cayman Speed, which is going to make us swim faster, and we get Boa's Coil, which loots enemies on stealth kills, which we don't really care about. I mean, yeah, we get some extra supplies here and there. We don't do too many stealth kills, though. But what that does is also make the skill beside it, which is going to be essential for a strat later in the run, available, because there's certain things on the skill trees that are locked out unless you buy an adjacent skill. So we preemptively make that skill available for us. Yeah, as you can see now, when I jump, I can roll out of my landings. And that's just going to be faster movement than her actual sprint speed. I mean, I was doing jumps instead of sprinting to begin with. Scrambles and jumps are still going to be slightly faster than her sprint speed. But, and then Miguel spilled all his ketchup here. He was the pilot of the plane.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And we get to meet a big kitty. Gonna get a good look at it right around the corner here at the top of the hill. Look at that big kitty.
Oh, kitty.
Yeah.
This was such a cool moment, though, playing through the game. You got here and you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's just like, wow, this is tense. This is really cool. And the music, too. Like, this is one of probably my favorite track on the soundtrack. Like, the soundtrack for the game's amazing, but like this track is just super cool. Got cool vibes.
Nothing but cool vibes here, my friends.
Oh, yeah. All right. So this fight is actually pretty neat. It's kind of well scripted. So every single phase, well, they'd actually hit me there, but every single phase, what we need is the Jaguar to pounce at us. Why didn't I grab the feathers? There we go. We need the Jaguar to pounce at us, and we need to do X amount of damage to it, which is generally about 4 arrows. Sometimes 3 is going to be enough. So basically, we spam shots at it, and I'm doing that by releasing aim in between each shot, because it removes the animation of Lara needing to knock another arrow. So it allows me to spam shots a little faster. But Jaguar needs to pounce at us. We do X amount of damage, and then it runs off. And then on this final phase, once it starts pacing, we're good. And we're just waiting for that one, the second Jaguar, to come in and trigger this little QTE. So during that fight, between each of the phases, we collected, some supplies to craft some arrows, and we crafted heals because we have a forced heal tutorial there. And now we don't have to collect any of that after the fight because we did it during the fight between each phase.
That's part of the wreckage.
Little time efficiency there because, like I said, it's a nicely scripted fight. As long as you understand how the fight works, you have lots of time to make sure you collect anything that you want during it. All right, so here we're going to meet up with the other half of the plane that Jonah was in, if you remember from the intro.
Oh, yeah. Jonah's around. Hopefully.
And he is. And he had a parasite in his arm that we cut out for him.
Oof.
We can get through here.
Which is why his arm's all bandaged up there.
See the village through the lines.
And he names it Eli or something after his cousin, I think.
Oh my god.
Because his cousin was always trying to get under his skin.
The leech.
I'm glad you stayed at the
Let's see if I can get the sound glitch here. No, didn't land far enough. If you land far enough here, the sound of Lara's feet double up. And also, I missed it there, but Jonah's leg kind of twitches out on the side of the screen when he comes into frame. I don't know why. It happens every time, though. It's great. But yeah, the sound of her feet will double up here. And another one of our little bits of speedrun canon for this trilogy is Lara has 4 feet. And if you don't believe me, watch the intro for the 2013 game. And when she's hanging upside down, when you set her on fire for the final time before she actually falls down on the piece of rebar, her feet will actually, like, there's the swinging Lara is separate character model, I guess, from the one that actually falls. So the other one spawns in and you can see 2 sets of feet.
It's pretty
Like
good.
legitimately, there's 4 feet there. So it carries over into Shadow that we get to hear all 4 feet walking if you land far enough there.
That did something. I think the water powers the bridge somehow.
It's too heavy.
All right, so we get a little simple puzzle here. We need to push this twice. The first time we notice it's leaking and we're not able to, you know, do anything about it.
Let's see what those counterweights do.
Subtitle go away. So, okay, I'm not going to fully craft. We're just going to twitch for a bit.
The bucket's leaking.
All right. I would actually take an intentional death here to show you guys a cool little glitch where we can get 2 Jonahs on the screen. But unfortunately, it actually is going to ruin the fight after
Okay, Jonah.
the AI pathing for it. So,
What happens if
As a-
the other Jonah gets in the way or something?
no, it just... The Jaguar that we encountered, so we obviously dealt with the one, but the other one carried its friend off and ends up here. It's going to approach us head on if we approach this area without any deaths or like any restarts from a save state. So we don't quit out of the game, or we don't restart any checkpoints, or we don't die. It's going to approach us head on. If we die or something like that, we restart from save state. Instead of running back there and approaching us head on like this, what I would do is run off to the side, which we don't want. Because then it runs around the entire arena and we can't get a nice fast kill on it like that. I mean, we played with it until it got tired and took a nap.
Hey, good job.
So yeah,
Claim her treasure.
that fight can take forever. Even if it goes well, if it does like take that alternate pathing and run off, like you're probably looking at least a 30-second fight versus, what was that, 12 seconds?
The adventure
Yeah,
should
pretty
not delay
quick.
any longer. In a minute, Dad.
So
Oh yeah, we get to see. I forgot about this section. You get to see like Lara,
baby
running around.
Lara, yeah.
Baby Croft. Here she
Real
is.
treasure in the forbidden
Yeah, baby Lara,
I wanted
narrating
to-
her adventures.
I wanted to tell you all something kind of funny. Did you know that Lara Croft in all of these series that she is in gets younger and younger? So her first actual birthday in universe lore is February 14th, 1968. And then in the Legend timeline, it's 1977. And in the Survivor timeline, it is 1992. So I have to laugh when I see this kind of gameplay because she really
Yeah.
is getting younger and younger.
She is. Need that secret. My knees are bothering me.
It's like, could you imagine?
I like to rewind a bit.
Could you imagine having a child that was literally just climbing the house? What did
I
her
know.
parents think, I wonder?
Well, at this point in the Survivor timeline, her mom has passed,
Guys, another entrance.
This is
and
true.
and her dad's a little preoccupied, as we saw at the window there. And this section is all false tension. Lara cannot fall. You can't jump. You can't do anything. Like no matter how like erratic you get with your inputs, all you can do is just go back and forth on the intended path.
Danger.
She's a true like Tomb Raider in training here.
Yeah,
They're keeping to the lore.
exactly. All scripted. All scripted. So this is pretty much on rails, obviously, as I described, but we can speed up some of these animations. Not so much this one, but this one here. As soon as she reaches, if you hit up, she just kind of snaps into place instead of, actually having the full animation of moving sideways.
Covers have been
Excellent speed tech.
Togo. Now, onward.
Anything you can do, though, to get through this.
Oh yeah, every little thing.
Parapet.
Every little thing counts.
She'll have to squeeze through.
Yeah, even up here,
Close. She can almost
she's gonna have two scripted kind of like stumbles of regaining her balance when she's up here, but the best I've ever had to her do with going like for the most erratic directional input I could give is like the little like bit of window that's sloped right underneath what she's balancing on. I've had her slip like halfway down it and then she just snaps right back up into place.
Oh, wild.
And here, Survivor Lara is going to coin her catchphrase for the 3 games. But first she's gonna say, why do I do these stupid things? And obviously,
Do I do these stupid
to prolong gameplay. There we go. There's the catchphrase. Alright. Got a nice little checkpoint halfway through this drop. That we're going to reload just to avoid the rest of the animation. Is this game upgraded for PS5? Yes, yes it is. Runs at 60 frames, and should you want, it can also do 4K. And it can do 4K at 60 fairly well. I, of course, run it on performance for the sake of speedrunning, so that it's always 60 and never going to dip, no matter what. But, yeah. This game will run 4K 60 on PS5. So simple little puzzle here. At 30 north and 90 east. With light, unlock her love's release. Messing up the lines. Horrible. First time playing the game. So 30 north, 90 east.
with light? Unlock her love's release. It worked.
I feel like she must really spy on her dad a lot to be able to like get into all of this stuff in the manor.
Oh yeah, she had like full out like notes and everything. She had a crayon drawing of this place and stuff.
Yeah.
We skip all the cinematics of it, but
Kind
it's
of
great.
amazing and impressive for such a young girl.
Yeah. So here we get 2 checkpoints back to back. On the second one, we're going to restart, and it's just going to teleport us down to the bottom, so we don't actually have to jump on down.
There she
There's the second.
Now I can free her
And now
with light.
we can put the final piece into place. And we get a flashback within a flashback. A couple flashbacks, actually, within this flashback.
Threshold.
Into the unknown. These are Mum's things.
These are Mum's things.
And we get story time.
You probably have all of these lines just like seared into your brain.
Absolutely seared into my brain. Was dark. It is guarded by bats, said the Red Knight. The White Queen regarded him with a curious smile and said, "Bats! I'm not afraid of bats. I'm not afraid of anything." So, young Lara is really smart when it comes to puzzles.
Tell me about this.
In terms of herbs, not so much. Somehow, them standing next to the T-Rex is riding it.
70%.
Yeah. Something like that.
I do find it actually funny that they were going on about bats specifically because it's one of the first enemies you encounter in Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah? It's very, very important. I cannot abandon my responsibilities just on the verge. You are always on the verge. Your obsession is destroying this family. Obsession. Well, I'm obsessed. You are missing your daughter's childhood because you're always in some tomb on the other side of the world. Why can't you be happy with what you have?
Dad?
Back to the current timeline of this flashback.
Dad?
You know, it's kind of weird that I've shown this off before for a marathon, and the date that it landed on was Father's Day.
Oh my god.
And now we're doing it for Lara's birthday. And this scene exists. Her dad was just really working really hard, and he's taking a nap, but it's Lara's birthday, so she wants him to wake up for
Dad,
her birthday
please.
festivities.
Come on.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird how that worked out, that,
Morning.
Father's Day and then her birthday.
Well, I mean, he may be asleep, but we're not. So
We're
thanks for
not.
being here, everybody.
All right, so from the Jaguar, we get a little bit of a tutorial on like craftable outfit type stuff. So we got to equip part of it, but I just spam through it and auto equip part of it. We don't have to equip the entire thing, just part of it. Here we get, I can't remember the name of the first skill, but it basically makes our landings quieter, as well as Owl's Meal, which is going to allow us to harvest bugs for, poison and stuff like that, which we're going to need to go in with one of the other skills we purchased earlier. I mean, that we set up to purchase. I put the cursor on it to purchase at the next fire. But again, we only use the specific ammo from that skill in one fight, really, but when we get to it, you'll see why that we do all the groundwork to set up for it, because it's a pretty sweet strat. All right. So yeah, we got those two skills at that fire. It's nice that there's a couple fires that the game forces us into anyway, so we're able to, just make use of the time since we're at the fire anyway to purchase a bunch of the skills that we need for the run.
Whole area sealed off. Yes, sir. If there's anything here, we're gonna. Quiet. What's your team doing? I'll check. We're not paying them to sightsee.
So I have a quick question for you, Satori. When you were routing this,
Yes.
did you have to experiment a little bit with like the abilities that Lara was learning in order to get through it, or was it always like pretty obvious choices?
When I did my first routing, like I was baby green speedrunner for the most part, so I didn't really put a lot of thought into it, to be perfectly honest. I didn't actually get any skills.
Okay.
I don't think. Did I? I can't remember. That's so long ago now. I definitely didn't put a lot of thought into it. I picked up on the movement speed one from learning the other games and from other runners. And then some of the other stuff definitely came as I returned to the game.
Oh, okay.
We're going to jump the gun here and trigger this super early to the point where that's so risky that I'm going to get spotted. I never do, but like I push the limit of how early you can go there. This guy will never do anything except knock me down. All right, here we're
like
going
running
to.
away.
Yeah, he's scripted to go up there, and then it's a scripted scene at the top. So as soon as we skip the cutscene, we are going to reload the checkpoint. Hopefully this works. There's 1 in every 10 times this strat doesn't work. But we reload the checkpoint there, which should hopefully force a conversation once we get through this barrier with Lara and Jonah, which is going to teleport us halfway down this hill into the cutscene instead of us having to actually go down the rest of this hill. So the conversation's happening. Hopefully we get the teleport. Yep, there we go. So normally you have to walk all the way down to the bar here, but yeah. we can set it up so that, you know, the game just takes us right into that cutscene for us. It saves like 5-6 seconds.
Nice.
Also, I'm hitting the wrong button to back out of there. Watch to the right. Ah, Lara was in the way. I ruined it. I turned the camera too much. Those kids just like teleport and snap into place.
There seems to be a lot of little quirks like that. I like.
Yeah, and it's just the thing. Those types of things where after how many countless hours of running the game, it's just like you just notice these things. It's like what you're doing is so muscle memory. You don't really have to think. Like I'm jumping in a straight line. Like I do not need to pay attention or think.
So now I have to ask you a tough question. Do you think, like, how far do you think you could get blindfolded in this run?
Great. Oh, thank you for me. I'm right here.
I could get through the first 15 minutes probably.
That's still really cool.
Beyond that, though,
might need some visual.
yeah. Once you start getting into the platforming and that, then we're gonna have some problems because that first little bit is pretty scripted. Like, it's fairly straight lines. That first wall climb, like, yeah, I could just take the easy way out and just attach to the wall and slow climb it, and then once you get to the top, well, I had already explained that first overhang in the game. Like, you can't even fall off of it. So
yeah.
Laura,
What?
But
Abby said not to break anything.
she's not breaking it. She's
like-
restoring the original.
Here she goes destroying things again.
Someone was trying to hide it.
She's restoring the original, okay?
Okay.
She's a professional archaeologist.
Yes.
The twins come together before following the path
So,
of the living.
putting together some more clues. Yeah, they met a local villager who's really nice and, you know, kind of helps them a bit. Trinity's already kind of been through the area and they're already aware, like, Trinity's a little military, a little aggressive, not to be trusted. And she's like, yeah, we're not with them. We're trying to stop them. We're here for similar reasons, but we're not with them. So. And we get to actually see a bit of destruction that isn't Lara's, because Trinity's gonna blow something up here right away.
Oh dear.
Jonah, I found the temple.
Yeah, look at that beautiful temple. I'm sure they're doing 0 damage.
Trying to blast their way in.
Certainly not destroying a precious land.
No, not at all.
Operation Lone Wolf underway. Trucks en route. What's the rush, officer? Dr. Dominguez is here in Peru. Is that good enough for you? Fine, Commander. Sorry, sir.
All right. Thank you for actually triggering the cutscene. That was something. All right, so we're going to stay under the water, skip all these guys.
I feel like she's
And-
really brave for doing this, you know, based on all the eel encounters we've seen so far.
Oh yeah, she doesn't care. She's just gonna go for it. Yeah, so we skipped all those first guys. We're gonna reload the checkpoint here, which is gonna de-aggro those guys, but that's not why we do it. It's so that these guys will give us a nice consistent pattern. We're gonna shoot an arrow to get that first guy to kind of turn there, so he's not looking the direction that we're going.
Over here, this is Commander Rourke. Have you achieved lockdown?
Get rid of that guy.
Almost isn't good enough. Secure the perimeter now and make damn sure it's locked tight.
Get rid of those 3. And because no one knows where we are right now, we're able to interact with the store. If the enemies are alerted, then the game does not let you open that door, and you actually have to get rid of every enemy to be able to open it. So, we only get rid of the guys we need to. And it's okay if they notice you once you start the animation of opening the door. Like, there's one guy that I leave alive right in that area. He's not going to notice you until you start interacting with the door, and once you start interacting with the door, you're good. You just can't initiate the opening while they're already active. The game will just auto-force you out.
Good.
Another quick little puzzle. There's clues in one of your notes and on the walls to the solution here, but, you know, we have it memorized, so... Because... The nice thing about all the puzzles in this game is there's no RNG to their starting placements.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. So you can optimize all the movements. So we did 2 turns right for the first 2. This one, I'm going to turn left. It's going to be twice to the left to get to it, which is going to be faster than, of course, turning to the right to get to the correct number. That's a 0, by the way. And this one, we want the 3. 1 turn that way. And we got several of these doors we just got to solve. And there's a bunch of snakes below us. If you do mess up, that floor falls away and you fall into a pit of snakes.
It sounds actually terrifying.
I know, right? So, turns to the right. And this one is 1 to the left.
Hey, Jonah, any progress?
And then here's where a lot of people do get stumped. Jonah does help give you the last clue, which a picture you took from early in the game actually has the rest of the solution here to what the last number was on the left.
She was taking all those pictures at the beginning.
Yeah, so you actually have to reference one of those pictures to get your last number on the one side.
Cool.
Jonah tells you the right side, the left side, you actually get it from there. So we're going to jump up the stairs on the side there. And for whatever reason, going up the stairs on the side instead of actually going up the stairs allows us to move quickly to this instead of slow walking. No idea why that's a thing, but I'm not complaining about the free 5 seconds there.
Sometimes the only explanation is just Tomb Raider things.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, normally you come out of that cutscene and you're in a forced slow walk. But going up the stairs off to the side there just allows you to not have to slow walk. All right, so we're in a giant room here with a bunch of piranha. They're not really a threat. The ones that could be a threat are the ones on this corner here, but Lara also needs to breathe, but we're not going to go to the breathing hall. We're going to reload checkpoint here, which is going to give her full breath back, and also ensure that this group of piranha are on the opposite side of this pillar, so we can just take a nice straight line and go right past them.
I forget. So she doesn't have a breath meter. The screen just starts kind of like her light is dimming whenever she's running out of air. I gotcha.
Yeah, you get some audio cues that it's gonna start to run out soon, and then the screen will start to fade and pulse.
Right, and then the sonic drowning theme starts playing in your head, and you're like, gotta get up.
Yeah. So the game's gonna give us a few of those warnings on this swim, but we just ignore them because I know she can make it.
You caught it, Lara. You can do this.
All right, so here we're supposed to get a little scripted tutorial of a game mechanic where you can like string guys up in trees and that, but turn sideways, jump, and we can skip that tutorial. And those guys you pretty much have to bump into them to aggro them. Like they're scripted to be very passive because they're meant to be part of that tutorial. Here as well, we've got a nice big arena of guys that normally you have to kill everyone to get through if they notice you, but we're just gonna get rid of that guy so he doesn't see us, and then throw a molly at that guy, which gets rid of him being seeing us, and then everyone else gets distracted by the fact that that guy's burning, and we can just slip out undetected. Another reload here is going to set us up for perfect positioning to skip another slow walk conversation. So normally she would be having a radio convo right now, but because we did that reload checkpoint, it delays the start of it, and we can get into the water before it actually starts. As long as we're in the water before it starts, it doesn't lock us down into that slow walk.
Creature. It made hissing sounds and moved so fast.
Lara, that sounds like the legend of the Pitaco. Pulling our legs.
No, I know what I saw.
And here we get a mini load. Because we go... That mud's supposed to be a loading gate, and we go through it way too fast. And the game just can't keep up.
Tomb Waiter jokes. Insert them here.
Have you been down there?
We were waiting for you.
We're gonna get another mini little cutscene here.
Okay. Well, hey, if we've got a little time in the cutscene, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of our awesome supporters. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, including this show Time Capsule. So please consider subscribing if you do enjoy your daily dose of GDQ speedrunning. And of course, if you'd like to follow what we're up to at Games Done Quick, you can use the command !links here in the Twitch chat for all things GDQ.
Nice. Alright, so Jonah and Abby get locked out behind us because apparently they can't cut or burn through woods or even break wood spears, so they have to find a different way.
They didn't unlock those, special
Those
abilities.
skills. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna proceed on without them. Again, we're going to do another reload checkpoint here, which is, again, gonna give Lara full breath back, and there's 2 eels in this place. But again, nicely reloading checkpoint puts them in a consistent spawn point, so that first one's off to the side, can't see us. And this one is in a perfect spot in its loop that if we hug the left side, it won't see us. It comes close, like you can hear the volume swell of it like starting to notice you, but not quite enough. So we get to go on our merry way. All right. And now this is probably the first, more significant skip that we get to see, because this one's 25 seconds if I recall correctly. So we're supposed to go all the way around here in that, but we're just going to position here, jump, throw the grapple, swing to the wall, don't let go. She let go. But we can skip going all the way around here. Come on, Lara. This is the one when you came back from grabbing your water or whatever. I was like, if Lara cooperates with me today, because she was just not wanting to cooperate. There we go. That's what we want. So we just skip a whole loop where we're supposed to throw the grapple to a swing point and swing to that ledge. Yeah, we can just jump from that ledge instead.
I'm at the next trial, the Eagle. It has something to do with the wind.
I'm still tracking west.
Remember I said we got some wild skips for a glitchless run here. So now we get a whole platforming puzzle to go through. Okay, so when we first get up here, there's supposed to be a big cinematic where she looks at it, and we're just going to jump off to the side and skip the entire, cinematic. Again, just like it earlier in the game, we can just, go right past the trigger. Here, we're supposed to climb around, go that way and that, but we're just going to go off to the side here, jump this way, throw the grapple, and bring us down here. That saves 30 seconds there.
Whoa, that was a really good one. That looked cool.
But in doing that, we skipped a checkpoint, and by skipping that checkpoint, the death plane from the previous area is still loaded. So we just need to reload checkpoint there, so that doesn't kill her, because that would insta-kill her right there. Once she gets to a certain elevation, that normally would kill her if we didn't do that reload checkpoint. Because the game has various death planes loaded in so that, you know, you don't have to let Lara fall for like 5 years before, you know, the game resets on a death.
Oh, yeah. Did you find that one out the hard way? I wonder.
Yeah, when I first discovered that skip, I'm like, why am I always dying on the first attempt? I'm like, it always works on the second attempt. It's the death plane. It's got to be the death plane carries over, reload the checkpoint, and you're good to go.
Awesome.
That one was one of my discoveries right there.
Can't find this one yet.
Nice little risky jump there. You know, another one of those ones that cuts like maybe 3 seconds. These things are a little bit of RNG, so that wasn't too bad of a cycle. Barely had to wait. Sometimes you have to wait a while there.
This might work. Yes, that'll hold. There.
All right.
Good. The ladder should turn now.
Jump on this early
Got to find another
so that we can get a nice first cycle here. Yeah, main story for this is around that range. The game's got a lot of side content too, so like if you're one of those people that enjoy side quests and optional tombs in this game, oh man,
yeah.
they're amazing. They are amazing.
So, some of them, I will say, are definitely worth playing if you enjoyed the game and you just like can't get enough.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. And if you're looking to, you know, just lightly dip your toes into the speedrun for this at all, we do have individual levels up for all of the optional tombs.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you can just run one of the tombs, and they also have a built-in timer for the time trial mode. So
That's like literally perfect.
Careful.
all right. So on that jump, as soon as she hit it, I got the checkpoint, reset it there. Saves me from having to do the saving animation, but it also ensures that I get a nice cycle on the turn here, where I'm not going to have to wait for this last piece to turn into place to be able to be climbed.
Jonah, I'm past the Eagle trial. I must be closing in on the hidden city.
All right. Get as far in there. We're gonna go for a skip I would never go for in a serious attempt here. It's another one of those ones that saves such a tiny amount of time.
It's the swag strats. Sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah, it's like we're showing off the game. We gotta at least try it once. So when we come out here, there is a trigger that forces Lara into a radio conversation with Jonah. And you can't go jump for the next section until that radio conversation finishes. But if we jump up onto this rock and not scramble off the wall, we're going to go for it once more. All right, go for the jump. And she jumped too crooked. All right, we're going to skip it. But you can jump past the trigger for the conversation and just be able to go for the jumps immediately.
You know what, Satori? I don't need to see it to believe it. I believe you.
The view up here is amazing.
Yeah, she just did not want to give me a straight jump. It's so hard to set up. And again, like, as you'll see here, like,
Jonah?
it's one of those ones where it's like, you get it on first try, otherwise you're losing time.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a short conversation. It avoids that little bit of a slow walk and that wait. All right, and this section looks really tense, but honestly, it's not.
Well, you got a very nice comment in the chat. I don't know if you were able to read it during all of that, but someone said that you are awesome and that they love seeing you on GDQ. So to
Well,
that,
I appreciate that.
I will say, if you are enjoying the run, please make sure you follow Satori Earth here on Twitch.
Indeed. Oh my, Lara, don't go under the surface. Yeah, and if you enjoy Tomb Raider, well, I run all 3 of the Survivor Timeline games.
Yes.
And the 10th anniversary of 2013 is coming up first week of March. So for that, I am doing a special stream. We will be playing the game through with speedrun strats for the most part. I might vary it up a little bit for safety, but speedrun strats for the most part. But on hard mode, gifting out subs whenever I die. And we'll watch all the cutscenes and then just enjoy the story and celebrate, 10 years of this timeline.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really fun.
Another skip time. So normally we're supposed to go up some stairs, meet a character named Etzli, and then we get like 4-minute cutscene. Nope, didn't turn well. So we get this long, unskippable cutscene and that, but Lara, please. Scramble for me. This isn't even the hard part. There we go. Nope, don't trip the cutscene. I was making jokes about that while de-rusting, that she's going to overshoot on that one and trip the cutscene on me, and we're going to have to watch the cutscene. Because once you trip the cutscene, there's no going back. Like, you're stuck.
Is it a super long one?
Yeah, it's like 4 minutes.
Oh, I gotcha.
Nope. Oh, I had it. Lara, please. Lara, please. I know it's your birthday, but you don't need to show off like this. Don't you trip that cutscene. Of course. One of the skips that gave me no problems during my D-rest is going to be the one that gives me problems.
It's all good, Satori. You take your time. We're all chilling, having fun.
Oh, yeah. Not my first rodeo. Just, please, Lara. Please. Please. We don't want to be here all day.
She's like, well, I do.
Yeah, she's like, it's my birthday party. I want this to go as long as I can. Why am I not even getting a good scramble jump there? Yeah, the reason I aim when I get up here, by the way, is sometimes she just has this like weird float that she does, and she'll just like continue walking on her own. So
oh, you have to like kind of set it up.
That aim cancels it out so that I can actually like have control of her again.
Gotcha.
All right. I jumped too early. That one's 100% on me. It's kind of hard to judge that jump, by the way. The last like 2 or 3 pieces of wood don't actually have collision. So she'll start to slip before you realistically like think she should slip. It's really weird. Can you land on the tree, please, lady? Don't make me bail on the skip, because the skip is so nice. Oh, no, salvage it.
I guess in theory, though, if the cutscene is like 4 minutes, then you can keep doing this for like the next, 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah, and it still saves time.
And it would still save time, so.
Yeah. Come on. Lara, you're taunting me now.
Lara's bratty birthday continues.
Yeah. Like, she was on there, and she's just like, no, we're gonna fall. I went a little too right on that. Yeah, there's actually probably the hardest skip in the run, where it's like the net time save of it is like 7 minutes. So it's like one of those ones where it's like, yeah, even if you don't get it right away, it's like, yeah, just keep going for it because it's worth it. There we go. And I still tripped the cutscene. Are you kidding, Lara? Lara, that was good. How did I hit the cutscene trigger? Oh my god. Well,
you know what? It's okay. We get to see a little bit more, and I get to ask you a question that was mentioned in chat. So someone asked you, Satori, do you do any classic Tomb Raider? But based on what I know, you don't. So my question to you is, would you consider doing any classic Tomb Raider speedruns?
I'd have to play them casually first. Okay, I actually have not. When I was a kid, I played good old PlayStation Magazine demo disc.
Yes.
Demo of 2, and I couldn't get into it, but also I was a young gamer at the time.
Right.
And so like my memory of like how rough that could have been is a little jaded. Let's actually skip the portion that is skippable. Not gonna make this take too long. At least we get Unuratu. Unuratu is an amazing character, and we normally skip this cutscene now. But yeah, I'd have to play them casually first. I do have that like little bit of like old games where it's just like I have a love and appreciation for them, but at the same time playing them can be just so painful.
Right. So
because of the controls and all that.
Yeah, it's the tank controls of the classic Tomb Raider. I can understand being hard to get into.
Like I'm a huge Silent Hill fan, and I'll play still because two's a little hybrid. You can it's where you're starting to get out of that tank. It's you get a little bit more control of the camera. You get like you got a little bit more there, but like going back to play 1, it's like I will never replay 1. As much as I love the game, like no thank you. I can't do it again.
The Tomb Raider 1 is a little bit rough because the jumping is like not quite precise, so she misses jumps a lot, even if it looks like she's gonna make it. So I think like in terms of classic Tomb Raider goes, like that's probably the most frustrating experience you could choose for yourself. But 2 and onward, they pick up the controls a little bit better, more fine-tuned.
They're too dangerous.
That's fair. Yeah, I've watched a little bit of you run. I've watched Bach. I've watched Caddy run some of them, and it's like, I don't know if I could go through that.
Chat's on to me, thinking I'm trying to recruit you for the classic Tomb Raider.
Just like, need more runners. I mean, fair enough. I do the same. I do the same. Just
all the while, it's like you're trying to recruit me for this, even if you don't know it.
Hey, it's a super fun run. Super fun run. Even when you accidentally trigger a cutscene that you didn't want to.
Well, so tell us what's going on here in this cutscene. Do you remember?
In this cutscene, so you meet up with Etzli, who's just stuck in a trap because for some reason he got himself stuck in a trap and can't figure out to cut the rope, and he's just yanking his foot. He's actually kind of a smart kid, so it's just like that one is like one of those ones where like I don't think this really fits the character, but whatever. Okay, we'll move past that.
We'll allow it.
A bunch of the cult members who are in like recruited and working with Trinity and that come in, and they're gonna try to kill him and Lara. But his mother, with her group of rebels, comes in and gets rid of them. Helps Lara fend them off. But they take Lara under veil, like they put a bag over her head so she can't see where they're going. and then take her here to be interrogated. And Unuratu basically runs Lara through the ringer, trying to figure out who she is and what her motives are. And they kind of figure out that, okay, well, we have the same objectives. Unuratu's not 100% sold on it, but she's like, I've got eyes everywhere in Paititi. If you do something that you didn't say that you're up to here, I will find out.
Oh, yeah. Eyes everywhere.
Yeah. So. The nice thing about this is, though, with one of the skips later, we opened up a campfire by going here that we normally don't in the run. So I can fast travel here instead of to the fire I normally fast travel to. So it will save us a little time later on. I mean, that was a net loss, but
Silver
it will
linings.
save us. Yeah, it will save us a little time later by having that that campfire opened up for us. All right, here we end up meeting up with a group here. Unuratu comes as well, and we end up seeing Dominguez, the leader of Trinity. But to the villagers here, he is Amaru. He is actually from this village, he and his brother. His brother was Unuratu's husband. And he's the leader of the cult of Kukulkan. And also, we're going to take a split second to pet a llama. Llama!
Oh, yeah, pet the llama. Does this llama have a name? I forget.
I don't think they do.
Aw, we should name it. Chat, what should we name the llama?
A whole bunch of them around the village. There's actually an achievement for petting, I think, 5 of them.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And the photo mode as llama cropped. You can actually change Lara into a llama in photo mode.
We'll have to see that at some point.
I actually I got stuck in a wall while just like randomly exploring during my D-Rust, and I shared a picture on Twitter of just a llama stuck in a wall.
And if we
with the photo mode.
If we wanted to find you on Twitter, it's Satori Earth?
It is. It's the same name pretty much anywhere online.
Awesome.
I'm super easy to find.
I followed Satori, but are you, chat?
Through there.
All right. So, Lara was super uncooperative earlier, but Lara, you are going to cooperate on the skips here, right? Right?
Steady, Lara, steady.
Right? All right. Face the correct direction, please. And touch that wall. Okay, there we go. That's the part that makes me the most nervous.
Damn it!
So that skip there saves us about 30 seconds. But this entire way through here, I'm tense because that skip also breaks every checkpoint in this entire chapter, like this entire map. So all the checkpoints throughout the rest of this don't work. Which means
the stakes are high.
if I die at any point, you know how I had to like roll through a little tunnel at the start of this area? Yeah, we get put all the way back there at any point through this entire area. But we skipped a good chunk of platforming by doing that skip. And it also has an unintended side effect. That was another tiny skip there. Not really worth explaining though. Just drop off the wall, attach to the wall, and drop down. Instead of, jumping over, climbing down the wall, rappelling down, which is what the devs want you to do. That's slow, man.
Too slow, man.
Too slow. Too slow. All right, so this guy here, you can shoot a wall and distract him and just leave. But obviously, with no checkpoints in place, that's a little risky. And it's actually like only a second faster than just doing that anyway. So it's like, why would you? Why would you take the risk? Because
because.
If you noticed in the bottom left corner of the screen, a autosave icon popped up. Yeah, that's a lie. That autosave was a lie. None of these checkpoints are working.
I found another.
All right, so our unintended side effect is, just wait for a piece of dialogue. There we go. That should hopefully avoid a soft lock. There's supposed to be a barrier here that we have to burn. Yeah, it didn't load in because we skipped a bunch of checkpoints. So we can just straight go through that first one. This one we have to solve, though. But again, as I mentioned earlier, all puzzles have a set starting point. So all you have to do is one turn counterclockwise here. Attach the two. And then just 2 turns either direction. It doesn't really matter because it ends up same position, whether you go clockwise or counterclockwise with 2 turns. But we go 1 and 2 positions over. Pull this. Again, that autosave is a lie. So yeah, I waited for a piece of dialogue before I dropped off the rope. There is a soft lock where you pull the lever to release all the oil into there. The oil just never actually fills that. The sound effects play, but the oil doesn't fill it, and you can't actually burn down the barrier.
Weird.
Yeah. And I haven't 100%, like, I just came up with the theory during my derust as to how to avoid that soft lock. But so far, it's holding 100% true. So I think I've solved the soft lock. You just wait for a certain line from Jonah before you drop off the rope. If you drop off too early, you soft lock. And which makes sense because all the checkpoints are scuffed because of the skip. So I'm assuming that dropping too early further scuffs those checkpoints that doesn't properly load. All right. So, I did say that this is a glitchless run. Have you ever seen an out of bounds in a glitchless run before?
I have not seen too many, but I have seen some.
Chat, have you? Have
Yeah.
you seen any out of bounds in a glitchless run before?
What do you think, chat?
Because you're about to. Oh, that's not a good jump. That's not a good jump either. Oh, come on, Lar. Nope. Oh, I salvaged that. There we go. That's the footing I needed. Nope, that's not good. So yeah, we are totally out of bounds right now. This is not an area we're supposed to be. So we're going into the temple, which is locked to be an area you enter with a certain outfit and stuff later in the game after a certain story beat. But we are just going to go in there right now and activate this campfire. And then we're going to leave.
So the way you explained this to me earlier was that you're not actually like glitching out of bounds. So this is why it's allowed.
So the reason this has been allowed in glitchless to the community, the argument, we had a community vote on it, and the arguments for it were that we are, and happy birthday Lara, by the way, on the screen.
Oh yeah, there it is.
The arguments were that we're always standing on solid ground. We're never clipping through any solid objects. We're never passing through any solid objects that should have collision. So we're always on collision. We're never passing through anything. And the only way we are getting up there and doing that is by just doing regular game mechanics of jumps and wall scrambles and stuff like that. Like we're just using the basic game mechanics to get up there. We're not doing any glitchy movements or anything. Like everything we're doing is just normal mechanics. So that is the argument for that being allowed.
I mean, yeah, and you have to give the Tomb Raider community some credit too, because at least they have a vote, you know, like people can talk about it and they get to decide. So that is kind of the cool thing about the Tomb Raider community.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then all the Tomb Raider games are all in one Discord server.
Mm-hmm. It's a big Discord. You should join
it. It's a big Discord. Any Tomb Raider game, any timeline is in there, and yeah, you get to see like all the discussions and community votes whenever something does come up for rulings.
Yeah, runners always get pinged, so if it's something you're interested in changing, you know, make sure you check that out.
All right. So, here we got a big fight arena. I should have reloaded that gun. Trying to explain strats. Totally forgot to do my reload. It's not a big deal, though. All right. Big fight arena here. You're supposed to kill all the enemies to proceed, but if none of the enemies know where you are, you can just leave. So we have a nice little path there where we distract the guys that would potentially see us, and we just leave.
Jonah.
How's Etsley?
Fine. They got him out, but Unuratu was captured.
Oh no. Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm going after the box. I don't know how long it'll take.
Do what you have to.
So yeah, cutscene we just skipped. So earlier, when Lara came out of the area that, you know, I mentioned that we could potentially soft lock, Etsley gets captured by the cult. Lara? When you give me that animation, it means jump sideways. Thank you. Sorry. Got another skip here, and this one's a little new, so I gotta concentrate. Oh, I didn't hit the checkpoint. That was bad.
Fine.
That was bad.
They got him out, but Unuratu was captured.
All right. Etsley gets captured. So we come in here to free Etsley, but in that process, we free Etsley, but Unuratu gets captured.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right?
What are we supposed to do with everyone?
But we're already on the path to find the other component that's supposed to go with the dagger from the beginning of the game. So Lara's going to go do that first and then return to the town, and we're supposed to go save Unuratu. We're going to do something else. I will explain that later, though. All right, drop. There we go. That's what we wanted. There we go. Skip a bunch of platforming.
I know it's probably like so easy for you, but every time you do like one of the grapple hooks like that, I'm always so impressed.
Yeah, it's a lot of just influencing the camera. It makes such a difference to the platforming.
Oh,
I know
gosh, I bet.
I know a lot of people have commented on like just like having troubles like, why didn't she do that? Why didn't she do that casually, or just learning the runs and that? It's like camera position. Camera position will make your throws so much more successful.
Looks like there's a temple down there.
A temple? All right, so we're gonna hit our last skill buying campfire of the run. So we're going to buy one skill that's essential and one just as a potential backup strat. So we're going to get Viper's Lure. which allows us to do like a proximity mine poison arrow. And then we also get serpent's glint, I think, something glint, which is just like a fire pistol round. That's just for a backup strat potential for the final fight. It's one of those ones. It's like it gives us free rounds with the skill of the pistol ammo, and we're in the fire anyway getting the other skills, so it's like, well, it's 2 extra seconds, and it gives you just like a little bit of a safety net for the final fight.
I mean, yeah, no matter how you look at it, the final boss is pretty hot.
Yeah. True. It's a joke, Chad. You'll get it. Trust me.
You'll get it. We'll get there.
You'll get it. You'll get it. I swear. All right, so this is a nice peaceful swim. There's no threats here. These are all harmless fish. No piranha, no eels. Oh, look, a breathe hole. Yeah, we're going to ignore that too, because we can do this entire swim in a single breath, thanks to the Cayman's speed that we picked up earlier, which just makes it so she swims faster and can make it this entire way.
I don't know if it's ever been revealed in the lore, but I swear Lara must have been on a swim team of some kind because she can hold her breath so long. Yeah.
And it's in like every game where there's like
every
massive,
game. Yes.
Massive ones. Okay, so there's another skip we did. That one's easy. I say that, but it kind of is. Okay, so I'm gonna go for this one once. This is another one of those ones where it's like, it's a nice little 15-second time save, but, you know, getting it first try, nice. Yeah, doing that in a actual run, yeah, no, thank you. I'm not going to lose a run to that. But yeah, there's a nice little skip there. So there's a whole bunch of platforming there. If you play this game casually, you'll know I just skipped a ton of stuff. But yeah, and this is like the most problematic prompt in the entire game. There we go. All right, so we get a shotgun now. And the music is about to cut out. But first I'm gonna grab this beetle. Getting a bit spooky. Lara's breathing heavy. What was that?
I'm scared. Hold me, trap.
That was so scary. Did not see that coming.
No, but seriously, this whole area for the first time is terrifying.
They nailed the atmosphere. This was an area that definitely impressed me on my first playthrough.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, the atmosphere in here is amazing. So yeah, we got a nice little fight strat here. It's pretty nice flow to this fight. Spawn points are pretty consistent. So as long as you don't get any weird shots where, you know, the enemy needs an extra shotgun shot or something to die. Like this one. Oh, I missed the barrel. Okay, at least get that one with the barrel. There we go. Not bad. So, nice little consistent fight. I love fights like that. They just have nice flow. Give me a fight that has good flow to it in a game. Like, yeah, it could be panicky the first time you'd play it, but where you can actually figure out a rhythm to the fight in subsequent playthroughs.
Do you think that a lot of that has to do with like the weapons that you're using? So like as the game goes on, you know, you're getting different stuff. Like what's your favorite weapon?
For this one, I'd probably say her bow, actually.
The old reliable 2013 and onward bow.
Yeah, but 2013, actually, it would definitely be her pistol. The pistol in 2013, it's so nice.
Right on.
It's so steady, aims nice, headshot kills. Yeah, it's great. Love her pistol. Again, nice little swim. You can always hit first cycle on the turning bit there, as long as you get a good jump in the water after, you know, opening it. That enemy, we can just skip. All right, and let's hopefully nail this skip as well. This is one I actually didn't practice before, so. All right. Ooh, we almost overshot that, Lara. Make it. Perfect. There we go. So that skips having to drop into the water and swimming all the way around, and saves us about 20 seconds because we can just go straight here. So normally there's a passage down below right there. We're supposed to swim all the way around, go through there. There's a bunch of more enemies that spawn in as we go around in that. And yeah, we can just skip that by dropping onto that platform there. Die, please. Thank you. More quick puzzle solving. I mean, it's not too much of a puzzle, but get the water flowing here. This one we get to do completely uninterrupted.
Almost done.
And then we got a similar idea on the opposite side. So we're gonna have to go swim on over there. All these enemies we don't need to deal with. And I'm not going to make that cycle, so we're just going to wait here. You can make first cycle on that whale, but you need to get like a really good jump into the water and be moving towards it immediately to get it. All right, so I'm going to get my bow ready. We're going to preemptively attach the first arrow while these enemies get into place. Get the pistol. 2 shots on that one, and this one just needs 1 shot and it falls to its death. We don't actually have to fill this with water. All we have to do is get the water in there once, and it fills magically. Get the second arrow prepped preemptively, because when we come out of here, we actually are going to have to deal with some enemies. But because we have the arrow already in place for the last part of the puzzle, we can just quickly get rid of those 2 and that archer, grab this ammo, and before the rest of the spawns can make it to us, finish it and trigger the cutscene. So there's like 5 more enemies that spawn as part of that fight, but yeah. As long as you're positioned well, you can get that down before they ever make it to you. And here we get a bunch of exposition. And yeah, hydrate, chat.
Gosh, it was cool seeing you go through this, because seriously, this is one of the scariest whole moments of the game. Total change in the tone.
It's one of my favorite parts of the run, because it's just like there's the skips that can go awry, obviously, but the rest of it's got good flow to it, and you know, once you know the strats, it's a super consistent area.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah, it's a nice little area to go through. So here we're going to get a whole bunch of exposition as to what those creatures were. Believe it or not, they are goddesses.
Ooh.
These figures.
Weren't they beautiful?
They look like those creatures.
I think so.
Graceful.
I mean, the main one,
Yes, she
that character model.
goddesses.
Oh, I love her character model so much.
She's
So
pretty
much.
cool. It's funny because She kind of reminds me of for lack of a better name to call her, Meet Laura in the first game. There's like a doppelganger Laura, and she's entirely just muscle. It's very strange. Perhaps a nod to that. I don't know.
They're protecting it. Is that why they fought me so viciously?
But yeah, she's finding out that they're protectors of all the sacred artifacts that, you know, wield all the power here and that, and they're trying to defend it. They don't realize that someone's been in here and has moved it already, though.
Someone's been sleeping in my tomb, too.
Yeah, and when Lara touches it, well, everything goes awry and falls apart, and they think that she took it and ruined everything.
Uh-oh.
So, they're not going to be too happy about it. Do I have any of my people here? Because I do actually have an emote for this character model for the face that she is about to make. And I would love to see it if I got any of my people still awake, but I know a lot of them are probably asleep by now.
Do you normally stream a lot earlier than right this time?
Yeah. What time we started is around when I usually start wrapping up stream.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's more Eastern time zone evening. Alright, so now we get a nice simple run away from everything. And this should be pretty decent as long as this area behaves itself. It can go a little weird. I might have just caused it to go a little weird because I accidentally did a roll, not thinking. Yeah, you do not jump roll during this section because the game will just like auto kill Lara sometimes after you make the final jump. If one, it glitches out and those explosions don't happen that break sections away. I've had that before, that's caused it. And also jump rolling cause it. Okay, we're good. That's the animation we want. Sometimes you make that jump and it goes straight into like a death animation of her getting attacked. Yeah, it's so weird. All right. But we're good. So yeah, that section's pretty decent. I also forgot to pull out the bunch of the enemies despawn on the side, but don't worry, we get another section like that on later in the game, and it's even better. Where watch during an epic chase or like natural disaster you're having to run from, those sections of the game, watch the sides, watch all the NPCs and, you know, assets on the side, and random things will just like spawn in and spawn out. I guess they assume the player's going to be focused too much on where they're going and not notice that, but you know, when you've got X amount of hours in the game and are comfortable with all these quote unquote tense sections,
then you can't help but notice.
Then yeah, you kind of notice those. All right, so here we actually, with the skip we did earlier, could technically skip this entire section, but we just got an item that we need to be able to climb overhangs, and we would not get that if we did not come through here. So we still have to do this section of the game, which I'm glad, because like I said, the fights earlier and stuff, some of my favorite parts of the runs. So I would be sad if we actually cut that out of the run. So I'm glad we need this item to allow us to climb on overhangs. All right. So we get a bunch more overhangs here. Climbing overhangs is kind of slow though. So I'm going to reset checkpoint, which just avoids a like glitch where she can not properly lock out on the ropes and swing properly. For whatever reason can happen. But we're just going to jump and swing off the overhangs instead of, you know, climbing all the way up there like we're supposed to. Which is faster than climbing all the way up and slowly climbing across the overhangs. All right, we get a nice generous checkpoint here, so we're going to go for another one of those inconsistent, risky, crazy, wild skips that I wouldn't normally go for in a PB attempt. And we'll get it on first try as well.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, that one saves about 20 seconds, but getting that one with consistency, I mean, I'm starting to figure out a bit of a setup, but I still only have like maybe a 33 to 45% success rate, I'd say.
Oh gosh. Lara's being a little nicer to you towards the end of the run, I'd say.
Can she pick up the beetle, though? Where did the beetle go?
Oh.
Where did the beetle go? Beetle? Beetle, I need you? There you go.
Take everything I said back.
It just disappeared into a rock. Normally, when I pick up the ammo in the end of the fights there before that cutscene, I end up getting the pistol reload animation to play out in the same process. I guess I didn't get it this time.
Oh, okay.
That helps avoid that. I'll get the beetle on the first try, normally. Like as soon as I go for it, but I had a pistol reload instead, which kind of messed up me being able to actually pick up that beetle. All right, so that big skip we did, obviously we just like went to a fire and left, and I was just like, what was even the point of that? Like, that seems like a waste time, doesn't it? Like, what is the speedrunner on? Like, does he even understand how speedruns are supposed to work? Well, now that we did all that, we're normally supposed to go up to a cave and discuss how we're going to save Unuratu and all that, and then we go do this whole like long platforming section to go to her jail cell and save Unuratu and all that. But in the speedrun, Unuratu is such a badass, she frees herself from jail. So we're just going to fast travel to that fire we opened earlier. And we're just going to go to what we have after we free her, normally would free her from jail. And we'll go to the sacrifice scene afterwards. This skip that we did earlier, this is the benefit of it. And it saves about 7-8 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. We skipped like an entire area of the game. Also, we normally have a conversation with Etzli there, which we don't have to go through. And all of this, normally we get down here. There's a cutscene of her and Dominguez arguing. Yeah, we don't have to... It's a skippable one, but we don't have to initiate it. And normally we end up, after we free her, going through a slow walk up these stairs with her. But because she's not with us right now, I can just jump roll quickly up these stairs instead.
Oh, that's funny that even without her, it lets you move this way.
Yeah, and then when we get to the top, at this checkpoint, we reload it, and hey, there she is.
She was there all along.
Yeah. Speedrun canon is Unuratu is even more of a badass, and she just frees herself from jail, and you don't have to do it for her. And we also get the benefit of Lara is supposed to be in the same outfit right now as Unuratu. Mask and all. But she's not. because of the skip, yeah, we don't get the serpent guard outfit. And we get to actually see Lara's face for this entire section, and
that is kind of an interesting thing about the speedrun, that you get to see her in this way.
Yeah. And it's hilarious. When we get into the area just after this, there's we see the beginning of the cinematic before I skip it, and she pulls the mask off during that cinematic. So the game she'll still be in this outfit, but the game puts the mask onto her for the sake of the animation of her taking the mask off.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. This whole area is interesting because Lara doesn't sorry, there's multiple skins in the game, and in the town, it's like Lara's forced into, I guess, this newer version of her. They have like an Angel of Darkness skin and also a Tomb Raider 2 skin that you can use throughout most of the game.
Yeah, there's several retro skins, actually. There's the bomber jacket.
Nice. Yeah, they must have added more since I played.
Yeah, there's the 2013 skin. Yeah, there's several retro skins that I think some of them might have come with some of the DLCs.
Oh, right.
But yeah, there are several retro skins.
Yeah, so for the most part, you can pick your Lara.
Mm-hmm. All right. So into this section. Remember I talked about those skills we were buying for one single fight? That fight's coming. So we gotta climb up to the tomb here first to trigger the events. But when we get to the fight, I'm not going to be able to, I obviously am going to have to focus a little bit on what I'm doing. Kind of. But try to keep track. It's going to be 12 enemies. Okay, try to count them. Try to count them. But first, we're going to go up here. Nice roll, and we can skip getting stuck in the radio combo there. And this is pretty straightforward. Platforming. Unfortunately, I've tried to find some ways to get up here a little faster, and there's nothing. There's nothing.
I'm getting nervous anticipating this quick math that I'm going to have to do.
All right. And also, we're playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, there's the Shadow of the Tomb Raider on the wall.
Wow. Would you look at that?
That looks like
It's like they said the title. It's all downhill from here.
All right, so there's the Viper's Lure Arrow. I'm going to queue that up right away. We're going to get in here. I'm going to quickly craft 2 of these. All right. And here comes that little bit of a cinematic where she pulls off the mask. And unfortunately, Trinity shoots Unuratu. Okay, 12 enemies. You ready, chat?
Okay, I'm gonna do my best.
Oh, you guys lived through the arrow. That's rude. Those guys can die too. The one arrow that I put into the wall. There you go. 12 enemies. Just like that.
I lost track around 4. I got nervous.
That is one of my favorite things I've ever done in speedrunning is developing that strat.
That's awesome.
Because that fight, Lara can die so easy. So easy. The flow is normally going to be hard to control during it. So there's like so many factors. Obviously, I said 12 enemies. There's 12 enemies in there. There's guys with clubs that charge on you so fast, and they do massive damage with each hit. Like one hit basically puts you one shot away from death. This was one of those areas where it's just like it could make or break a run. Like it could go really well, or I could be losing minutes, because pretty much every time you would die, it's like you reset the entire fight, and it's like a minute of time loss each time.
So you were going pretty fast, but I assumed maybe you were taking out multiple enemies at once.
Yes, some of the explosions took out. There's a poison arrow that I shot into the ground. The first arrow I shot was into the ground because 2 guys normally rush from that way, and I'll catch both of those guys. And then there's 4 or 5 enemies that burst through the door after a certain amount are dead. And I put one into the wall that can kill all of them. Obviously, I had 2 archers that came through at the end there that I had to shotgun to finish off. But yeah, that arrow takes care of multiple guys as well.
And you said this was something that you developed yourself?
Yeah.
Was it a lot of like trial and error?
Yeah, I got the foundation from it from another runner.
Okay.
But even their version, it still was inconsistent. It's like you could have it go as fast as we just saw, but then there was times where like things just wouldn't line up properly because they weren't using those arrows to crowd control or anything like that. And if you get weird AI pathing and that, like things could just get out of hand so fast with that many enemies running around and different AI pathings.
Oh yeah, I bet.
And it's like you have archers spamming you, you have guys charging you, like, so you're dealing with projectiles and melee guys that can do massive damage on you. And it was just one of those things where it was just like,
I suppose.
yeah, it could go well, but then
To find the box.
it could go horribly. So I ended up going and playing around with, like, looking through the skills, looking through all the weapons, like, what can I do to try and make this more manageable? And it's like, well, if you've ever played Rise Against the Tomb Raider, poison arrows in that are brokenly OP. Brokenly OP. That's one of the good things about running Rise is you do get poison arrows, and they are legit broken. Like, they are so overpowered. So it's like, well, there's a poison arrow in this. It doesn't work the same way as Rise's, but I wonder if I could make something happen with that. And it just kind of went from there.
Yeah, thinking outside the box.
All right. So this is one of the best areas of the game casually. This is one of the examples of forced stealth done right in a game. But yeah, we're kind of not do any of that stealth. I mean, we're gonna stealthily run through it, but yeah, this area is so fun to play casually. If you haven't played this game yet casually, enjoy this section whenever you do decide to pick up the game, because it's so good. But yeah, these first guys, we can just, you know, take a path around and skip everyone. All right, so we'll do a reload checkpoint here, which will avoid that animation and teleport us right for the jump.
All units report status. Cardinal 2, all clear. What's going on, Commander? We got hit by a force truck. Kappa team, all clear, sir.
And did you know that explosions are stealthy?
I've got 4 shock damage.
I do now.
3.
Okay,
A rock slicer got the turret.
because if you didn't, you're gonna find out. And also, titles are very important. So when someone's a commander,
Who is this?
I've suspected you've been monitoring my communications since Mexico.
Rourke.
Commander Rourke, you make sure you appreciate that they have that title and say it. I love how he corrects her there. Just like, dude,
Like, okay,
settle.
hold up, let him cook.
All right, another section. We're just gonna wait for these two guys to start moving. Make sure we don't get in front of this guy before going for the stab. Any Looney Tunes fans in chat? You know, Sam Sheepdog and Ralph the Wolf.
I'm hoping someone in chat can pick this up because I'm not sure myself.
Yeah, those two guys give a little Easter egg because they start their workday like fighting against each other for the sheep, and they always like clock in and they're like, "Morning, Ralph. Morning, Sam." Yeah, those two guys are just like, "Evening, Ralph. Evening, Sam."
That's
But yeah,
good.
stealthy explosions. We're just gonna explode that and leave the area undetected. We're just gonna blow some stuff up and leave undetected. Quick reload there. Skips that radio conversation with Jonah. right, here we get another arrow type called fear arrows, which are going to cause enemies to trip out and kill their allies, and then just die off from the poison. So hopefully we can get good RNG where this guy kills both of these guys, but more often than not, I only get him to get... Oh, he did kill both for me! Wow.
Wow, let's
Look
go.
at that. Look at that. It's been a long time since I've had the good RNG.
Base camp's having trouble receiving.
It's not a big deal. If he doesn't, I just have to go and stab the other guy. Okay, we're going to grab one of these. We're going to craft this little smoke here. There's 3 guys patrolling the exit. We're just going to throw the smoke. And normally you're supposed to do a slow, like, squeeze through this opening. We're going to jump at it. And come on, Lara. Yeah, we're just going to jump through it. And that avoids us hitting a trigger to have a slow walk here and talk to Jonah on the radio. Where we find out that Jonah is supposedly dead. It gets interrupted by, whoops, Rourke. That's the button I wanted. It gets interrupted by Rourke, and he's like, we've got Jonah. If you want to see him alive... Actually, no, I think he actually full out says he's dead. Yeah. She doesn't even get a chance to get to him. He's just like, yeah, Jonah's dead.
Damn.
And unfortunately, with all of the amazing, like, unskippable cutscenes that this run has, the best cutscene of the entire game is coming up, and it's actually skippable. So, at the end of this last little climb here, Lara's gonna fall into the water. She has some flashbacks and that kind of, like, run through her head and, like, get her to, like, remotivate herself. This is an oil distillery, so there's oil floating on the water on fire, and Lara just, like, emerges from the water with, like, this fire going on behind her, and everything comes out and stabs this one guy. It's just this badass scene. Yeah, we actually skip that.
I do remember that scene now, and it is one of those moments where you're just like, holy shit, like,
yeah,
she's going for it now.
Yeah, she's just pissed off. She thinks Jonah's dead. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna mess every last one of you up. So this fight, we only have to kill the first few guys, and the rest of this is just 3 barrels. And we know the spawn points for them. We just gotta wait for the barriers in front of them to break. There we go. Grab the last bit of ammo, and Jonah's gonna spawn in. Just in the middle of the fight arena. He just spawns right in. I don't understand why they chose to spawn him in for this cutscene there, like in the middle of everything, when they could easily have spawned him in out of bounds for the cutscene. But yeah, they spawned him in there, right in the middle, and you could just see it happen right before the cinematic starts. So I do that every single run. It's just like, hi, Jonah.
Hi, Jonah. Bye, Jonah.
And Jonah's alive. Trinity didn't actually have him and kill him.
Gotcha.
But, you know, everything's kind of gone awry, and Lara's having a very human moment. She's not doing well with how poorly everything's been going here. And this is the scene I was talking about earlier, where you really get to see just like how strong of a friend Jonah is for Lara. Grounds her, calms her, and gets her back on task, all in this scene.
We can do this.
It's one, like, I make fun of some of the dialogue during runs because, well, you watch it 50 billion times, but I absolutely do love this cutscene.
What was that clue? The heart of the serpent, something.
The heart of the serpent is in the cup. Near the many
Thing.
stars
Just knows her well enough to know, like, okay, you know what? If I get into the riddles and everything, I'll get your mind back on track. Get you back on task. Because I know your brain. I know that if you start focusing on this,
It's not mine.
it's not mine. Yeah,
The clue was
sarcastically
left by a 17th century
go
missionary
through the shock
and
of
very
this
low level
every single time.
The serpent in the chalice is a symbol of Saint John. We're looking for
A Christian holy site?
site.
What?
Like a Church of San Juan? That's a pretty common name. Could be dozens.
Not within tracking distance.
Not within trekking distance from Paititi.
Well, she's on to something now.
The road is this way.
She is.
We'll get out of here, talk to some people.
Maybe we missed it. I don't remember if there is like a moment where Lara
What would I do without?
realizes, oh, hey, Jonah's actually alive. She just carries on like normal conversation with him.
I think that's what like really triggers her, like to feel like vulnerable enough to have the breakdown of
That's
like
fair.
how everything's going. Because she's just kind of sitting there. She's kind of trying to hold it in, and then she sees Jonah is alive, and that's when she starts to like really just like break down.
Right.
Like I think that the realization is what she's just like. It's she gets that moment of relief of seeing him alive, and then just that feeling enough of safety to like have that moment where like I'm a human and everything I'm touching is going wrong right now, and yeah.
It honestly makes Jonah seem like some kind of a guardian angel. It's kind of a wild thing.
Yeah. All right, so here we're normally supposed to talk to one of Abby's friends. We're supposed to go into the church and put together a bunch of clues. There's a whole bunch of puzzles dealing with the Stations of the Cross and all that and whatnot. But we're going to go out of bounds again. So just like that, we're out of bounds. I mean, technically on top of that roof was out of bounds too. You're not supposed to be up there, but it was still within the playable map. But yeah, now we're on the outer perimeter. Where am I? Always hard to find your bearings through the vegetation.
I mean, the devs were nice enough to create this sort of like outside the city lines area, so
Yeah. Totally dev intended. They made all this, so why would they make it if I'm not supposed to be there?
exactly.
And we do need to wait for, the actual ground to load in. Let the game realize that I'm here.
The game's time to hydrate.
Yeah. All right, so right below us, once we finish that church area, there's a whole like stealth sequence that type. Well, you can go guns blazing if you want to, but there's a whole combat sequence we're supposed to go through. Same with here. Yeah, we don't have to do that. And then we get up here and trigger the final fight. However, because we skipped a bunch of stuff, the lighting here is gonna be a little off. So this doesn't look too bad. This doesn't look too bad so far. But, oh, that blew you up. Perfect. Last guy. There he is. Yeah, the lighting's a little broken.
They're in light mode now.
Yeah. Lighting's a little broken, but don't worry. Once we get to the cinematic at this arch, it fixes itself.
I know. Could you imagine the rest of the game and just like...
Yeah, if the rest of the game was like this from doing that, oh, that would be brutal. There we go.
Have to get the sunglasses out at that point.
So, at the end of the church sequence, Jonah is being held at gunpoint and all that, and he like grabs the box, smashes a guy, and tries to make off with it, but they catch up with him and are nice enough to not kill him. They just take the box back and throw him out the helicopter.
Surprising move, actually.
Yeah.
We got this.
So Jonah's a little battered from that. So we're just going to go off. But, you know, the sequence of events that we set off at the earlier part of the game is continuing on. And we've got a nice, massive mudslide happening right now. So this is another one of those sections where I will be focusing a little bit. We're going to do a few jumps here just because they are faster than sliding down the areas. Go off to the side here to avoid a stumble animation. But yeah, these guys on the roof, for example, watch them. Watch these guys on the roof. Oh, there they go. So yeah, instead of sliding down this, we're just going to jump. Same right here. Not going to slide down this, we're just going to jump. Just speeds up the section. Ooh, I almost shorted that one. All right. And now we get the worst section of unskippable cutscene, in my opinion, because, well, we're getting toward the end of the game, and you get this kind of anticlimactic, massive amount of exposition that you can't skip. It's like, I can deal with it for the most part, especially at the beginning of the run, because, you know, you're just getting settled in. You're just getting settled in at that point. But then we get this, where it's just like... It's good if, you know, obviously it's a little bit of a longer run. If, you know, you have to go to the washroom or something in a run, it's like, I know I'm safe to get up.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was going to ask, like, do you oftentimes get up during these cutscenes?
Yeah, it's 4 minutes total, basically, but you do have, like, 3 seconds of input in the middle of it. But still, you get, like, a nice solid 2-minute chunk on either side of that. Where you can safely get up, get a drink of water, run to the washroom if you need to. Maybe grab a snack? Yeah. I don't know.
But I guess for the casual gamer, this is probably like such a relief of a cutscene after all of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't really remember my first playthrough well enough to remember.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I mean, I did pre-order this. I played it on release, so it's been a little bit. It's been a little bit. So yeah, here we get Lara reflecting back on it. Like, she's like, okay, well, we need to figure this out. Like, things have gone wrong, but we need to stop Trinity. They've always been there. They killed my father. Like, they've messed everything up in the world, and they've messed up my entire life. Like, I could have had a family. I could have grown up with my father instead of losing him as a child. So we come back, we meet up with Etzli, who's, of course, now the leader, now that his mother died.
Where's the box?
He notices, of course, we don't have the box, but it's like, we'll get it back. And
We'll get it back before he completes.
we start to devise a plan to make a final assault and stop them.
please, take your time to prepare yourself. We'll gather intelligence and fighters.
Thank you.
I'll stay here and lend Uchu a hand.
I always admired how he picked up this role like so well. It's like, you know, his mother just died and he's still holding it together somehow to like run everything. Like super admirable.
Coming together, Lee.
Indeed.
We have options.
I mean, you do get glimpses of him and his mother together. You can see that she's really like raised and coached him well to, you know, understand his responsibilities. So, which is why like the whole him being caught in the trap when you first meet him and just like this doesn't really seem like it fits his character. Like it's just a piece of rope around his foot. Like I feel like he would be a bit more collected and be able to get out of that.
Right? He was having just a little off day in that moment.
Yeah. Like it wasn't even like a crazy trap. It's just like a single piece of rope around his foot. And he's just panicking and yanking on it. Like that doesn't really fit his character, but sure.
This is the best option.
Good.
So yeah, we get the plan. We're gonna split up. They're gonna take them head on to slow them down, but they could get overwhelmed. So we're gonna go around and act as a sniper. So we get an epic sniping section. Tippy, don't ruin this. Don't spoil it. But we get an epic sniping section. I promise.
This is where we part. Your path lies that way.
Is it lore why the people in the jungle speak perfect English? No. Kind of, but no. Trinity does have outside influence into there, so there is some outside influence of English that has made its way into the village. But why so many of them speak English? No. There is a mode in the game which I have a love-hate relationship with, where you can turn on, like, regional dialogue, basically. So lots of the villagers will speak their native tongue. However, they will speak to Lara in their native tongue, and Lara will speak to them in English, and somehow they perfectly understand each other. Lara understanding them, I understand. Lara's canonically a polyglot. But them being able to understand her...
It might just be one of those like nod and smile situations.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones where you just kind of have to accept it. It's like, I guess it would have been just too much work and too much money to have the actress, Camilla Luddington, go through language lessons to learn all of the dialects that are used in the game to be able to have those conversations.
Yeah, that's fair, I guess.
I would have loved it if they did that. That would have been a really, really cool touch, but... All right, so another one of these swimming sections where instead of breathing, we're just going to reload checkpoint because it's faster than the animation of her breathing. And it also puts us forward just a little bit, which helps to the time save of reloading the checkpoint being faster than actually like breathing in the little air pocket that's there. All right, so we are on the final epic climb, basically. Actually, there's a couple climbs here. Couple sections of climbing here. Well, we got one climb and a little bit of combat, and then we get another climb at the end. Wait for the helicopter. Never used to get ahead of that helicopter, and I always wanted to find out what would happen if you did. And yeah, unfortunately, if you try to go for the jump too early, that will... Thank you for overjumping. How did that happen? Every now and then when you reload a checkpoint, the camera goes a weird direction. That one was just like, why is she looking up? Why are we looking up instead of forward? But yeah, if you try to go for that jump when the helicopter's going by, you will fail the jump, unfortunately. Okay, we're just going to play this on the safe side, just for the sake, you know. Even though I do this jump in every run, just since it failed the once, I'm not going to go for it again.
Good progress in all sectors. We are losing a lot of people.
All right.
Stay away from the walls. Stick with your comrades.
Epic sniping section. Did you see those epic snipes?
Too fast for
Yeah,
Twitch.
that was our epic sniping section. Legitimately, we don't get to act as a sniper, as she says in the plan, because we actually meet up with the Yashil, and they recognize that, you know, we're trying to do the good instead of what Dominguez is doing, and they side with us because they are guardians of, like, the whole ritual and everything. So we are going to take what would have been Unuratu's place in the ritual.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Me too.
And they're going to assist us dealing with Trinity. So that's what we end up having instead of sniping.
It's kind of cool that you end up getting them as allies at the end.
It is. Also, best piece of voice acting coming up here. As soon as I get on the wall here. I love that. Yeah. Just that one, and it plays out every single time when you jump onto that wall.
It's the little things sometimes.
It really is. It really is. And then another, speaking of the little things, we're going to get to the top here and we're going to skip cinematic. And Crimson Fire or Shack Shell, whichever you want to refer to her as, she's going to stand there and she's just going to teleport to that rock right on the side. Boing.
Jonah, we did it. We cleared the way to the temple.
That just happens if you have forward input coming out of the cutscene.
Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
just like, "Whoop, hello."
For whatever reason, it breaks her. Like, if you skip the cutscene or watch the cutscene and not move, like, coming out of it, she'll walk over there normally.
Oh, I got you.
But if you have forward input as you skip the cutscene, yeah, she just teleports instead. It's so weird. All right, so first section of enemies we're able to skip. These section of enemies, we have to kill those two guys. These two guys in the middle here, that's gonna stagger me. Okay, kill those guys. I'm gonna reload, but this is also gonna allow another guy to jump into the arena so that he dies to that barrel. And then one last guy is gonna jump down over there, get rid of him, and I don't have to kill any of the other enemies. It'll just trigger the cutscene as soon as I move forward. Another one of those fights that's just, you know, it's nice and consistent. Just know how many enemies you need to kill, you move forward, and trigger the cutscene. The Yashil overwhelm Rourke there, and now Rourke's dead. So that pretty much just leaves Dominguez and whatever last members of the cult are at the top for the ritual. Rourke's dead too.
He took his title to the grave.
Who's in charge? You are. Congrats on the promotion. Good luck.
Have fun.
You mind cleaning up this mess? Alright, right, so the final epic climb. All three of these games end in an epic climb. Right before the final fight. In fact, I think it's my rise splits. I think I have my rise splits as an obligatory epic climb. Alright, make sure I'm on fear arrows. Lara, you're not jumping from there. Please do not go in that animation. All right. So, final fight. We got this guy right here. I'm just going to give a fear arrow to him. That way he doesn't see me and just dies off. Allows me to get that first pillar. So we got 3 of these pillars we have to get to trigger the actual final fight. They're all 1 checkpoint though, so hopefully... Okay, there's no archer here, which means I should be okay for the most part. Final pillar can still be a little sketch, so hopefully I don't have weird enemies. I'm just gonna do 1 little arrow there for safety, since I have an extra 1 of those arrows. So if guys try to flank me on that side, they will hit that. There we go. 3 pillars done. Always horrible if you die on that final pillar, because there'll be a full minute of time loss.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, that all 3 pillars are a single checkpoint. And with this fight, we've got to stab Dominguez 5 times. Well, we take the knife from him and then stab him 4 times. But there's 5 phases to this. And the first 3 are 1 checkpoint, and then the final 2 are 1 checkpoint. So this fight can be a run killer right at the end of the run. But thankfully, we got controllable spawns. So right there, we did first phase. I'm going to go here. Allows me to get some ammo and allows Dominguez to come toward me. And also ensures that all the archers aren't going to have easy shots on me to spam me right now. So what I'm doing there with those animation cancels is he goes for a melee attack that has a huge AoE. Can do massive damage. Whenever I see him going for that melee charge, I just, do 1 of those charges at him, and it breaks his animation so that I don't have to deal with it. That was a little risky, but it'll push him to only a couple more shots. All right. So there's our first 3 phases. Now we get a checkpoint. I'm going to restart here, which is going to put him in a nice, consistent spot right there. And we got the good RNG of this barrel still being there. So that means I can get a nice quick phase on him here. And as long as I don't get weirdly spammed here, time will be coming up after I run away. Recollect. Dominguez, you want to follow me? No? Okay, that's cool. Come on. There we go. Time is now.
Hey, GG. It's such a good ender. It's like the stab and then time.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, actually probably the best time ending. Like the first game, we get Matthias falling. Is our end, and then Rise is just Lara going through a door.
This one's much more exciting.
Yeah, much more exciting.
Well, yeah. So we have approached the end of the run. Satori, do you have any shout outs or comments? Anything you'd like to mention?
They're great games. Great games. Play them casually if you haven't. If you do want to run them, I've got a tutorial up for the glitchless route for 2013. I do plan on doing tutorials for all the games. I started recording for this one, and I started editing it, and I I can't stand my takes on it. Like it was a horrible run through. So I need to redo it. I ramble a bit too much. The first one I recorded offline, and this one I decided, you know what? I'm a little rusty, but we'll just do it on stream for the hell of it. And yeah, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it. So I do need to redo this one.
There's always voiceover, you know. You play a nice run and then you can voice over it.
There is that, but there's so many, like, especially with a lot of the skips and that, it's like I like to give backups, alternatives.
That's fair.
And that, especially because it's like I want the tutorial to be both for an experienced runner and for someone who may be picking up their first speed game ever.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I try to give that approach of having all abilities, all understandings of speedrun to be able to just pick this up and be able to, by the end of it, complete a full run and submit to the board if they wish. But yeah, it's a great community. There's always a couple runners active. Everyone dips in and out of activity, but everyone's pretty on top of the Discord. So even when a new runner does come into the Discord with questions, even if no one's really actively running at the time, several of the mods, several of the experienced runners who, you know, maybe haven't run in 6 months, a year, will still be there to answer some questions. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, thank you again so much, Satori, for showing this off. I think this was a really interesting run to see, and especially getting to, you know, hear your takes on the trick development and stuff like that that you were working on. So thank you so much for being here to celebrate Laura's birthday.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it was perfect occasion. Occasion. I really did want to show off this game. I've been wanting to for a while because, like, well, you guys got to see, like, for a glitchless run, it's a pretty wild glitchless run.
Yeah, I'll say. So, Satori, if anyone wants to follow you on Twitch, it is Satori Earth. And do you mind, I guess, letting everyone know your schedule again, when they can find you live?
For sure. I generally stream 4 to 5 days a week. It's usually going to be about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to whenever runs go to that night. You know, it's usually about a 5 or 6 hour stream slot that I'm running for.
Comfy.
Yeah, nice little cozy evening streams. It's mostly weekdays. I do some weekends. So there's the occasional Saturdays, and there will be the Sunday for the 2013 anniversary. I will be posting that as well on my Twitter, the details about that stream for the 10th anniversary of the Survivor timeline.
Nice.
Tomorrow, so.
Well, I'll be looking forward to it.
Indeed.
All right, my friends, I'll say it again, but if you did enjoy the run, make sure you follow Satori here on Twitch. I posted the link in the chat, so no excuses. Do it. But as sad as it is time for us to part ways. But you all have my sincerest thanks for watching Time Capsule. I love Tomb Raider, so that was a ton of fun for me. And again, thank you, Satori, for being here. If you enjoyed Time Capsule and would like to learn more about it, you're always feel free to get in touch with me, Smooth Operative, over on my Twitch channel, just twitch.tv/smoothoperative. And if you're watching this on YouTube from the future, be sure and press the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you are interested in catching our shows live, you can always go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. We start weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. But that's it, everyone. Have a beautiful day or night. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.